how that happens, but all right. Holy crap. All right. My gosh. All right, well, that was dumb. I don't know how that happens, but that happened. I just completely just crashed. I don't know, something, I guess the router, like the little bars that are on it, were just down, and they weren't picking up anything at all. Anyway, my gosh, I was ranting about NIL for so long, I don't even know how long when I crashed out about it. Like when I don't even know. I'm not completely. Phil, let's go, Phil. Dude. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. I just completely just crashed. Like, I don't know, the internet just went out. Something must have fallen on one of the bars or something, but we're back now, I guess. That was absurd. But yeah, anyway, the NIL stuff is, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get the whole complaining and whining about it and moaning about it. Listen, March Madness is not going to die. If anything, I'll tell you right now, after these 2 years of like, oh man, there have been no upsets, there will probably be more upsets next year. Why? Because teams will adjust. Teams will adjust to either retaining their players, they'll adjust to a different strategy to get players. It's just going to be an evolution. It's not going to kill March Madness. March Madness is going to be fine. That's what it is. It's going to be fine. It's going to stick around. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. Jay saying cut a wrestling promo on that internet provider. I went upstairs. Bands just went down. I got to go fix the cords. I think that's what it is. Because sometimes the cords get jumbled and then it knocks down the internet. And I'm like, why? Why does it do this? I don't know. But it did. And now we're back. That's all that matters. But in short, NIL has some stuff to fix. Not even NIL has some stuff to fix. The March Madness and teams there will have to take their time to adjust. And they will. I think they will adjust. I think they will find solutions to having lower seeded teams win. I think part of it is that at the end of the day, those lower seeded teams, you want to pull upsets, you got to find a way to get enough talent around you to be able to do it. And it's not going to be impossible to. But I still think it is really crazy to have this discussion that, we saw so many more upsets. No, you didn't. You really didn't. Like, you saw the 14 and the 13 seed teams win, and frankly, yeah, sure, but guess who put up better fights in this March Madness bracket? The 15 and the 16 seeds that had won historically even less. So it's not the same. I mean, you can't have that argument about NIL. You really can't. Because the way Furman played against UConn, way better than what we saw from, Troy. Way better than what we saw from, who did I pick? Akron, right? We saw Furman put up a better fight against UConn. We saw Siena put up a better fight against Duke. Like, you can't use the NIL argument when lower-seeded teams in your 14 and 13s are actually doing better. You just can't. It's illogical. You can't use that argument. Like, when we're seeing, even if we go to, who was I looking at? Not McNeese. I was looking at, like when Penn is getting blown out by Illinois, but Furman's actually able to put up a fight against UConn, like, your argument loses so much significant traction. Like, Cal Baptist put up a decent fight versus Kansas. That was your best performance by a 13 or a 14 seed. Actually, no, that's not true. Kennesaw State against Georgia. Like, they're not guaranteed to win every time, right? But they're still, clearly putting up fights. And the Zags lost in round 2. So to use the argument of NIL when there are 15 and 16 seeds that are still able to put in the work and put these teams in Duke and UConn on the back burner, your argument just doesn't hold weight. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can play against these guys and win. Especially because of the way the upsets have happened in other ones too. Jay saying the movie Blue Chips still holds on this whole NIL situation. The movie Blue Chips. Dang, Jay, you know a lot of sports movies, and I have not watched many. I thought I watched a lot of sports movies, and then I didn't. I have not seen as much. I always thought I would. Like I always feel like I'm a big movie nut, but that one I'm unfamiliar with. But the whole NIL argument is, I don't know. I don't think it has as much grounds of its legs, as doesn't have as many legs to stand on as it thinks. It's really just a nostalgia based argument, and it's not even based in correct nostalgia. Like it's just oh, you had a lot of you had a lot of 15 seeds go on crazy runs recently, more so than even like some like genuinely no joke. Did you know a 14 and a 13 has never made it past the Elite 8, or past the Sweet 16, but an Elite 8 team has? Or excuse me, a 15 seed has? A 15 seed has made it to the Elite 8. 13 seed can't say that. 14 seeds can't say that. Heck, only 2 12 seeds can say it. So, again, we want to talk about like crazy upsets, is what it is. But you can't say that. You can't have the NIL argument when I'm watching Furman and Siena do what they're doing. You know what I mean? It doesn't hold weight. Check it out. It has Shaq and Penny in it. It's where Shaq first met Penny, went to Orlando, and told them to draft them. That's actually sick. Shaq and Penny Hardaway. That's awesome. That's gotta be a cool move. I gotta check that out. I'll add that to my watch list. Blue chips. Fascinating. Alrighty. Well, enough of me complaining about people complaining about my March Madness. It's time for me to actually talk about how much I enjoyed March Madness. I gotta talk. I gotta start with we're gonna start with the first round. Games, the top 5 games. This one I actually put my full list together. I didn't put a full list of games together for round 2, but I probably will in just. I'll probably be able to put it up together. Let me go through my top 5. Let me start with my top 5 of the best games I saw through round 1. Starting off, I'm going to get into an honorable mention. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Texas over BYU just because it was an impressive upset. I think I was away from my computer for a while, so I wasn't able to actually catch that one live. But the other 5, I was able to catch for the most part. I think there was one that I didn't catch the full game of, but I think I'm putting it on this list out of respect. So, without further ado, top 5 games from round 1. Coming in at number 5, it was the first game of round 1, first game of the entire tournament. TCU versus Ohio State was such a blast. It was a great start to the beginning of March Madness, especially with my personal favorite, David Punch, doing what he was doing in the paint, making some passes, getting some tough buckets. I enjoyed that one thoroughly, especially as someone who had TCU. So it's always nice when you get the first pick right, and especially when that first pick's an upset. For TCU to knock out Ohio State, just destroy 60% of the brackets. Generally speaking, the first game of March Madness is always a good one. TCU was a great one to start out with. Number 4 on my list, probably Duke Siena. I think it makes it, unfortunately, with Duke. If Siena wins, it's easily number 1, but it definitely makes, I think, it's top 5. Just because to see that 16 seed take it to Duke the way they did, especially for me, because it felt like of all of the, that might not have been true. I guess LIU would have been tough to do against Arizona, or even like for Michigan to lose their 1 seed match against Howard. But Howard at least was competitive for a little bit. But in terms of watching Siena compete with Duke, it was a blast to see. It sucked watching them slowly kind of lose the lead. But that first half of their starters giving it all to one of the best teams in the country was awesome to see. And I do think it will still continue to happen over the next few years. I think we will start to see 16 seeds. I think we'll still see it. We'll still see them be competitive, and I wouldn't doubt if we see another 16 seed win a tournament game before 2030. Despite all this NIL crap, I think 16 seed will win another one. Number 3, I did not catch the majority of this game. I unfortunately did not catch the comeback, but out of respect for the people who did see it, UNC versus VCU. VCU making a huge, what was it, 20-point comeback? It may not have been 20, but I know it was a large deficit that they overcame to go out to do what they did to UNC. So glad I changed my mind at the last second to pick VCU. I think that's what I changed, right? No, I didn't pick it. I must have been in a different bracket then. But I wish I picked VCU because I knew I shouldn't have picked UNC, knowing what they did to me last year. I knew I shouldn't have picked him. I thought, maybe this time it'll be different. It was not. It was the exact same. Major props to VCU for getting that first round win. That was pretty awesome to hear about, especially afterwards, because I was like, wait a minute, wasn't UNC like up big? And then to find out VCU won was certainly a shocking one for me. Number 2. You see him right there. You see Chase Johnston. The second best game had to be High Point versus Wisconsin. I thought it was going to be the best game until, of course, we got to day 2 where a better game emerged. But High Point got in. Last year, they played Purdue really close. They looked for a win over Wisconsin, and Wisconsin suffers another early exit. For Chase Johnston's game-winning bucket to be a 2-pointer when he hadn't hit one all year is a certain sense of poetic. His shot from nearly half court was absurd. Cinema. Okay? I was watching that game. I saw him pull up. What are you doing? Like, this is literally what I said. I was going, what are you doing? What is that shot? Never mind, you're amazing. That was exactly the sequence of me saying that as he was shooting it and the bucket went in. Like, there's nothing that beats that. That is an absurd shot from Chase, and it was awesome to see High Point get the dub, despite the fact that I did have Wisconsin. I shouldn't. You know what? I shouldn't have. I took the bait 2 years in a row that Wisconsin was going to make a little bit of noise. I didn't even have them going far. I had them losing to Arkansas next round, but yeah, I picked Wisconsin, and I was wrong. Yeah, a very impressive win by High Point and Chase Johnston and that crew. And then finally, number 1 in the first round. It's not close. It really isn't. It was Santa Clara, Kentucky. I was out going to get lunch. I think I was getting like Wendy's or something. I was in the drive-thru. I had left work. The game was tied, and I missed the sequence live, which frustrated me beyond belief. And then I went back and I watched it when I was waiting in line at Wendy's, and I was like, are you kidding me? Santa Clara, it's a game. It's a go-ahead 3 with, 2.4 seconds to go. Kentucky gets it up the floor and just, straight cash. One of the most impressive shots of the tournament. And Kentucky went on to win in overtime. That right there just tells you, listen, it's never dead. It's never going to be dead. We're going to have games like that. An unbelievable win from Kentucky. Again, also someone who had Santa Clara and was rooting hard for Santa Clara, but that was the best game of the first round by far, I think. I don't think anyone else comes close. There were some other decent ones. I liked Wright State taking it to Virginia. There were some other good ones I liked. McNeese and Vanderbilt was entertaining for the most part. Clemson, Iowa was a good one close as well. The upset of Texas over BYU also you could make an argument for as well. But I gotta say, I was so steamed when I found out how that game ended. Not because I didn't think the ending was amazing. The ending was great to that game. I will say this, though. As someone who likes basketball and loves watching it, I do. I love watching basketball. I love watching sports in general. It's great. I love watching the great moments. I also appreciate and value playing winning basketball, right? That was something Santa Clara did not do in the last 2.4 seconds of that game. And I'm sorry. People will say that it's unethical. It's unethical to do that. You foul there. You foul there every time. And I have no issue with it. I have no issue with it because it is winning basketball. Say what you want, that it shouldn't be allowed, whatever. I think if whether you think it should be allowed or not, you got to understand that in that situation, if you want to win the game with the current rule set, you foul there. And I also don't like what is Santa Clara's coach doing running to call timeout to a referee that is running away from him and has his back turned? You want to call timeout? There's a baseline judge. There's a baseline ref for that. You go to the baseline ref, you call timeout with him because he can physically see you. So I don't know. It was an amazing game, but I guess that's kind of college sports. It's going to be a little, it's not going to be perfectly coached, or even professional sports is far from perfectly coached. So it's tough to expect college basketball to be, but you gotta call time. You gotta call timeout to the right guy, and your guys have to foul in that position. That's got to be trained. In that situation, 2 seconds left, you're up 3, foul. When I watched Syracuse when I was younger with Boeheim, they did that all the time. They did that all the time to make sure they won games. Because listen, at the end of the day, you could say, you can have do you want to have the more electric game, or do you want to win the game? And as a player and as a coach, you want to win the game. You don't care how exciting or entertaining the game is. You want to win. That's what it really is about at the end of the day. So, tough, heartbreaking loss for Santa Clara. That could have been done out away with otherwise. Could have been saved. Unfortunately, it was not. But hey, life goes on. Life spins round and round. That's how it goes. Anyway, those were the top 5 I had of the first round. Now, top 5 games of round 2 is listen, you can put in a couple interesting ones. I'm going to say right now, out of all the games that I was able to grab and watch, number 5, probably Arkansas High Point. I think High Point also gets the business of being in the top 5 in the round 2 of slew of games. Listen, I was going to be tough to compete with Arkansas, but because Arkansas is also a team that can shoot and play slightly better defense than a team like, say, Wisconsin, it was going to be tough. But it was still a very good performance. High Point once again gave it their all against Arkansas, so a lot of credit to them there. Number 4, probably... Number 4 is also tough, too. Because there's only like 4 games, but I'm trying to think about what order I'd put them in. Number 4 is probably Vandy versus Nebraska. Actually, no, I take it back. Vandy versus Nebraska is not 4. Number 4 is probably Texas Gonzaga. As Texas obviously upsets Gonzaga, and I feel like it should be higher for that. But the other 3 games I watched more of and thought were just so entertaining. Texas beating Gonzaga is a very impressive feat, though. For them to take out the Zags, basically, bust a lot of champions. Because I think Gonzaga was, I don't want to say they were definitely far from the most popular, but they were definitely like close to like top 7 teams picked, at least in that range, being a 3 seed and being a very well-known 3 seed just as a brand. So for the Texas to get that win, very impressive. I'd have it at 4 for now. Number 3. I'll go with the other upset, Tennessee over Virginia. Tennessee is one of my darlings this year. I think they do make it to the Elite 8. They'd have to beat Iowa State to do that, but I think it's very possible that they get in there. And seeing Tennessee do it to Virginia, just, I don't know. I've never liked Virginia particularly because the one, like years ago, not too far ago, but like 5 or 6 years ago, I had Texas Tech winning the whole thing. And they came up short against Virginia, who ended up winning the whole thing. And I was very sad because I thought my bracket would have won there. It did not. But congratulations to Tennessee regardless, because thank you for taking out Virginia. Appreciate it. And then really 2-1. I mean, it can go either way. For me, oh wait, shoot. I just realized I'm missing a game. You know what? We got to redo that because I just realized I'm like not even thinking about Iowa, Florida. Like maybe Iowa, Florida is just one. Hold on. Let me restart. We got to knock one of these games off. You know what? I'm gonna knock Texas Gonzaga. Man, I can't do that. I can't knock Texas Gonzaga off the top 5. That's crazy. I'll knock High Point Arkansas off the top 5. How about that? That seems fair. Then I think it would be 5. Then would be Texas Gonzaga. I mean, as tough as it is, I didn't watch the whole thing, so it's tough for me to rank it. But overall, yeah, number 5, I would have to go Texas Gonzaga. Number 4, gosh, yeah, I guess. Hold on, my headset died. That's what I was doing there. Number 4 would probably be, yeah. So then number 4 would be Tennessee, Virginia. Because I didn't watch as much as those games. The 3 I'd have to rank ahead of it, I watched all of. Number 3, number 3 is probably Vandy, Nebraska. For Nebraska to be up 2 and for Vandy to have that shot rattle in and out, oh my gosh, that's brutal. For Vandy to have that shot against Nebraska rattling it out, it epitomizes the other half of March Madness where it's electric and entertaining, and then you see the heartbreak of being that close. An unbelievable game there. Number 2, St. John's, Kansas. A strong 5 and a strong 4. I mean, for Darling to not make a shot the entire game, and then for him to get the game-winning layup. Just immaculate stuff, especially when you consider the situation, because with 15 seconds, it's one thing, but Kansas at the end is just fouling, has all these fouls to give, and there was around 5 seconds, like a little over 5 seconds, I want to say, or just slightly under, and for Darling to just say, I'm taking it to the rack, I'm getting this layup, and just an amazing win. Huge win for St. John's, especially after the frustrating loss last year. There's a very real chance St. John's beats Duke. So I'd be excited to see what St. John's capable of against Duke, especially with the Blue Devils' struggles in the first couple of rounds, especially with their slow starts, especially. And then, I mean, number one, is it really a question? I guess I can't believe it slipped out of my mind, but number one is not really a question. Iowa knocking off Florida was the best game of round 2. Probably the best game outside of maybe Kentucky, Santa Clara. I think I would it'd be tough. I would probably take Iowa by a hair, but that was a what an immaculate game to knock off the national champs out before the Sweet 16 for Bennett Sturts, who was with Drake last year when they upset Missouri as an 11 seed, to now take down the national champs as number 1 seed. I mean, my gosh, what a sequence, especially Sturts getting the game-winning assist over to, what was his name, Felucia, I wanted to say? I don't remember his name. I remember hearing his name. I knew it was like a foreign guy, but I didn't. It was like, I thought it started with an F. No? Am I crazy? Yeah, Fulgueras. Alvaro Fulgueras to get the game-winning bucket against Florida. And then I don't know what Florida's sequence was at the end. That was terrible. But my gosh, for Iowa to get the win there was immaculate. Especially when you see like the people, like there's that one shot of the woman in the crowd just like completely shocked at that. That was incredible. I forgot to change slides to go to the top 5 games round 2. Whatever. It's there now. It was an immaculate performance. So yeah. Let me recap real quick for those who are just coming in. Shoot, I'm already forgetting. Number 5. We had oh my god, I already forgot, dude. I have like number 5, Texas's upset versus Gonzaga. Number 4, Tennessee downing Virginia. Number 3, Nebraska versus Vanderbilt. Crazy ending with the bucket coming in and out of the box. Number 2, St. John's downing Kansas. And number 1, Iowa knocking out the national champs as the number 1. I mean, it doesn't get... Again, to sit here and tell me that March Madness is dead because of NIL and round 2 gives you that, killed in its crib. Argument is done. It is, especially if Siena, like imagine Siena beats Duke, and we're still talking about how NIL has killed March Madness. Like, brother, you might as well be wearing a peg leg. No one's gonna take you seriously, man. No one's gonna take someone who's not, unless you're a pirate. Unless you're a pirate and you're wearing a peg leg. But if you're not a pirate and you're wearing a peg leg, I can't take you all that seriously, my guy. I just can't, and I won't. Be a pirate. Oh my gosh, what an exciting. It's just you gotta love it. It's so I've always undervalued it low key when I was watching it back in school, just because I was not good at filling out brackets back then. Because I'd basically do it randomly, but now that I like actually have like a little bit more ball knowledge and about the games and everything, oh my gosh, it is just as I feel like a kid again. It's great. And I mean, oh my gosh, I honestly, I would, a lot of people saying like fill out a Sweet 16. I'm set, honestly. I don't want to fill out no Sweet 16 bracket or nothing. No, I like where I'm at right now. I like seeing who I have. Listen, I think if St. John's just needs to pull a big upset on Duke, man. Is St. John's, like, I really just need a St. John's win. If I can get, like, a Tennessee win, Illinois win, Nebraska win, like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. That being said, of the first 2 rounds, there are obviously going to be the 5 teams that absolutely shafted me. The 5 teams that I had hope for, that just let me down so hard. There's obviously going to be some that I think are going to do better than I thought, and they shafted me. Honorable mention here goes to Santa Clara, but not for them as a team. It's more for their coach being kind of a bozo at the end. But that being said, I can't put them in the 5 because, you know, they actually did play. They played very well. Number 5, Jay saying Sweet 16 brackets are just participation trophies. Yes. If you're filling out a Sweet 16 bracket, listen. If you really need the money that bad, listen. I'll Venmo you like $20. But like, You don't need to be like, come on, stand on your bracket, keep it rolling with what you got. Because listen, nobody's perfect at this point. Everyone's done. It's over. And we know Phil's man, James Harrison, don't play participation trophies. Yeah, James Harrison's my guy. Him and I, we don't play participation trophies. Listen, you fill out your bracket. You can fill out as many as you want before the tournament. You fill out as many as you want. But after that, don't be filling out no like, oh, look at my Final Four bracket. I can randomly predict a coin toss 3 times. Like, dude, come on. Enough. Don't be giving me that. Stick with your bracket. Stick with what you made. There were 5 teams, though, that definitely shafted me. Let's get into it. As I mentioned before, honorable mention is your boys over in Santa Clara. But I mostly blame that on their coaches, so I'm not gonna get there. Number 5, though, let's start with it. UNC. UNC did this to me last year. I bought stock after they played well in the first 4, and they lost there. And then this year, what does UNC do? Poops the bet again. Poops it even harder this time against VCU with actually having a big lead and just letting it go by the wayside. So, yeah, UNC kind of let me down a little bit, boss. I didn't have you going far. I did have you losing to Illinois. But really it kind of let me down there. It really hurts. Let me get started with my number 4. Number 4 is going to be none other than... Who is number 4? I'm going to be honest, I didn't get that shafted that much. Oh, here's my number 4. McNeese. Boys, of all of the 12 seeds that I had, I just needed one. I just needed the Aura, Mr. Equipment Manager. Where was McNeese, bro? Where was McNeese against Vandy? Where were you? Come on. What are we doing? McNeese, unfortunately, let me down. I get it. It's against Vandy. They're a good team. But to pick a 12 seed and for you not to be it, man, I don't know what to tell you. You let me down. You let me down big time. Number 3 letting me down. How about Texas Tech? I had them beating Hofstra, to be fair. I didn't need them to beat Bama, but really? Texas Tech. We're gonna get smacked by Alabama more so than Hofstra did? Like, you probably wouldn't have beaten Hofstra if they'd beaten Bama. Disgusting. Arguably even be higher. Like, that was not cool. Number 3, Texas Tech. Number 2, Gonzaga. Number 2 has to be Gonzaga. I mean, the 3 seed losing to 11 seed to Texas. I had you beating Purdue. Before you went down to Arizona, and yet you're going to do me like this? Like, I even had you winning over BYU, not Texas. So the idea that you also lost to Texas? Yeah. Sorry, Gonzaga, you're number 2. And number 1, I'm going to say it because, and listen, it might be unfair for an 11 seed to be the number 1, but honestly, the team that feel like it sold me the fakest bag of goods, USF. USF was such a popular pick over Louisville. It was such a popular pick that I had them beating Michigan State. Now, maybe that's me. Maybe that's my bad. But I'm sorry, when I make a bracket at the beginning, like, it's supposed to be, like, my bracket was perfect. My bracket was perfect until USF decided to go, be themselves, I guess. I guess that's who I don't know. But I can't believe that they would go into Louisville and lose. And honestly, it says 83-79. It was not that close. This game felt like they were outmatched pretty much the whole time. A little disappointed, honestly. A little disappointed. Very upset. University of South Florida. Do better. Do better next time. Like come on. What are we doing here? Honorable mentions. St. Mary's, obviously, didn't pick them. They didn't win. Honorable mention, Missouri. Got shafted by Miami. BYU as well. Losing to Texas, a little honorable mention there. And then I think the last little honorable mention would probably be like Clemson losing to Iowa. But and that's pretty much everybody who I picked who didn't win. I mean, who knows? There might be even more shafts on the way. Like if Arizona drops one to Arkansas, yeah, it's over. It's done. That's the biggest shaft. They win number 1 shaft of all time. I mean, I would say Florida would be on here, but honestly, like I had Florida losing in the next round to Nebraska anyway. So I'm like, as much as they probably could have made the list, I didn't have them going far for me. So Like, if they lose to Iowa, not a big deal. In fact, Florida losing arguably helps me because people had them going further and I didn't. So thank you, in a way, Florida. Appreciate that. Very nice of you. Very awesome. That being said, it's gonna be an interesting photo finish. I am for one very excited for the upcoming rounds. I hope y'all are too, because I really do think this is going to be one of the best Sweet 16 rounds we've seen in a while. Like, honestly, here's what I think. Right now, well, here's what I need to have happen. Let's go over that. Let's go what I need to have happen in brackets. I need St. John's to beat Duke. Now, again, they're in a tough pickle. They're in a pickle because of how good Duke is. That being said, Duke also hasn't looked great in the first 2 rounds. They've struggled out the gate. Like, they've struggled against, we know they struggled against Siena heavily, and even in the first half, TCU was getting after them. It really depends, to me, on when because I think at some point in this game, St. John's will go on a run or two. It really depends timing-wise. If they're able to time their runs around the time when, like, say Duke is having, like, turnover issues or Duke's going cold, then I think St. John's, like, that's really what it's gonna depend on, is really the timing of their runs, because they will get a few runs in this game, but the problem is them not being a great shooting team. It's kind of a problem. But I do think they have a real shot of taking down Duke. In fact, there's all this, like, what was it? I saw a graphic where it's like, oh, every year when Duke wins the finals, they beat St. John's to do it. I'm down for St. John's to turn the tables on them and say, yeah, no, Duke's getting ousted before the Elite Eight. So I'd be excited to see that. Then UConn versus Michigan State. I gotta be honest, I'm a little nervous because I think Michigan State looked really good. That being said, I obviously picked UConn. I did also have UConn playing University of South Florida in this game, not Michigan State. But I do think, I don't know, man. Michigan State always has a way to just come up short. They've come up short in the past, from my recollection in like memory, because I remember they would lose. Like, I mostly have the game against Syracuse like seared into my brain. I have UConn. I want UConn to win out. Listen, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know a whole lot, but I do. I'm praying on UConn's win, and then that will be who I would have advancing to the Elite Eight. Arizona over Arkansas. That one's gonna be really good. Based on what I've seen from Arkansas the last 2 games, the issue is that I think Arizona, again, roster-wise, is just generally better. I'm a little shocked, though. The game against Utah State does kind of scare me a little bit. It was a lot closer than I would have thought. I thought Utah State was good, but I didn't think Utah State was going to actually keep it as close as they did for as long as they did. So if Arkansas is able to do that, they will definitely have a chance. But still rolling with Arizona on that. And then I had Gonzaga beating Purdue. Honestly, it would benefit me if Texas beats Purdue, because I imagine there's some people in the bracket pool that Purdue would probably have. So I'm pulling for Texas in that one, though I do think Purdue likely wins based on the control in the game they had against Miami. Let's go to the Midwest. Michigan, Bama. I have Michigan. I really don't, because again, honestly, I thought based on the funny, like, not funny necessarily, but based on what happened with Alabama prior to the tournament, I was like, oh yeah, Michigan. But also, that's also what scares me. Michigan really does so far feel like they're the team to beat in the tournament based on the way they played the first 2 rounds. I mean, what they did to Howard, and then really what they did to St. Louis. St. Louis just looked outmatched in every capacity, and that was a game I watched a lot of. It was tough. Like, St. Louis really did not have an answer for them in the second half, and they just got walloped. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be. I mean, Alabama's got a shot, but I don't. Michigan looks like a different animal this year. Then there is Tennessee versus Iowa State. I have Tennessee. I think Tennessee's, based on what I've seen the first 2 rounds, I think Tennessee's incredibly underrated. I think it really depends on how good Iowa State looks without who's hurt for Iowa State. What's his name? I forget his name, but I know there was Joshua Jefferson was the main one with the sprained left ankle. Since if he's out, it really depends on how that's kind of impacts their athleticism, definitely. And if it does, listen, Tennessee could be an Elite Eight run. I think they would lose to Michigan, but I would still have them. I pick them, man. I got a feeling. I got a feeling in here. Nebraska, originally I had Nebraska beating Florida, but now they get Iowa, it feels more reasonable, but at the same time, it gets a little scary because, I mean, listen, what I saw from Iowa against Florida was on demon hours, so they could end up doing the same thing to Nebraska and end up in the Elite Eight, which I wouldn't honestly doubt, but my gosh, I'd really like to see Nebraska get the win there. And then Illinois, Houston, for whatever reason, I almost always write off Houston. They're a very good team defensively, but I don't know. All it takes is one team to go hot, and you're kind of done, right? Like, if Illinois gets hot in this game, I don't know, man. And Illinois is not to be trifled with. They're also a very good program, so especially what they did in the first 2 rounds. I mean, blowing out Penn, and then VCU just didn't really feel like they stood a chance either. I mean, also, to be fair, Houston's also bashed through their 2 opponents, so we'll see, but I'm looking to get Illinois to that Final Four, baby. I'm getting Illinois to the championship, man. If Illinois beats Houston, I'll say this: if Illinois beats Houston, I do think they're in the championship. That is my take. I think no matter what, if Illinois beats Houston, they will be in the championship by the end. I have no evidence to back that up, but I'm just dating it now in case I'm right. So. If Illinois beats Houston, they're going to get by whoever wins between Nebraska and Iowa, and they're going to get by whoever comes out of the East. But that's what I have. That's what I would have. And then outside of that, I mean, I don't have much else for you. I would say that's it for this episode of Free Refill. A couple other, I guess, housekeeping things. I guess overall, some stuff that I saw just in general that I thought I would mention. Number one, dog. Well, actually, 2 things. I guess more football related because I know I'm the big football guy. Number one, Travis Kelce getting a 3-year contract for $54 million is ridiculous. That's weird. That's suspicious. That might as well be money laundering. I don't really understand what the plan is there with him. I don't think he's going to play the entire 3 years of that deal. I'll be completely honest with you. Because, I mean, what? His production's significantly down. He's going to play 3 more years. Can we not kid ourselves here? That's ridiculous. And then also JSN getting paid. JSN getting paid, though, I think is genuinely an interesting headline because I think JSN by far, right now, best receiver in the league. And I think one thing about him that's a lot different than, say, like a Jamar Chase or even like a Justin Jefferson is that he's not in the media. He's not in the news. Like, you don't have to deal with like a Jamar Chase random suspension, or you don't have to deal with like the weird Puka Nacua hanging out with Aiden Ross type stuff. Like, you don't have to deal with that with JSN, which is really nice, honestly. And it's rare. Like, it's rare to find that, especially in receivers nowadays. Like, when you look at the Jamars, the Pickens, even a guy like Nacua, like it's very hard for them to not stay out of the media and the news, and you hear them doing this dumb stuff. But hats off to JSN. A lot of respect for him for getting a bag. But just to see Pickens, to see Chase making kind of goofy headlines for no reason, it's kind of ridiculous. It happened a lot with Antonio, especially towards the end too. So I don't know. He's got like almost a Julio Jones mentality to him, kind of staying out of headlines. T.Y. Hilton almost like a better version of T.Y., which is very awesome to see. So hats off to him for getting a bag. That was it. That's all I have. I guess some stream issues in the middle of it, but we power through. Hopefully I can fix up the upstairs router so that doesn't happen again. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and joining me on a little March Madness talk. I'll probably come back tomorrow. I'm trying to think of what we're gonna do for tomorrow because we covered everything, including talking the predictions for the games. Huh. Well, we'll figure it out. I'm sure I'll have something planned for tomorrow's episode. Who knows? Maybe some big news will drop or something like that. But outside of that, that was all I had for today. If you guys like what I'm doing over here, make sure you give it a like. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow for all that. With sports talk every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Well, not every, because obviously I didn't do it last Thursday. But that's not the point. The point is that I'm here most days. All right, that's the point. So, but I do appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow with some more. We pushed through like Eli Manning getting sacked. We made it. Yep, we pushed through and heave a pass to David Tyree. We heave that pass, brother. But I'll be back tomorrow with some more. And that's all I have for you guys this evening. I'm gonna go make myself some dinner. Probably work on I've got a presentation I'm working on with some friends for a event I got to go to in a couple weeks. So very excited about that. And also I'm gonna be, I guess, an extra in a movie this upcoming weekend. So I got a lot of stuff on my plate in the meantime, but and potentially some special announcements coming in the future. So I will see you guys. I am peacing out. Enjoy your Monday evening. I will see y'all